91X.
These videos from the Coachella Flophouse are made possible by Old Smoky Tennessee Moonshine, and we thank them for that. All right, please welcome to the Coachella Flophouse, Night Terrors of 2015? No, 1927. Why 1927? I got to ask that right off the bat.
I mean, our name, Night Terrors, is so, like, dark and melodramatic that we felt like counterpointing it with, like, sort of the high point of American naivete and happiness, you know?
Which was 1927?
Yeah, pretty much.
How do you remember 1927? I don't remember it. So how do you know what happened then? Is this history books, Wikipedia?
We've learned a lot since we named our band that. People always come to us and say, that's the first talkie was in 1927, and they'll tell us different things that happened, but we kind of didn't know.
We shook a bunch of numbers in our hands, and we like threw them on the ground, and then 1927 were aligned, and we're like, God, that looks great. And then everybody started filling those numbers with different stories, and every time we go on tour, we hear another story.
First?
Before what?
The year? So the year actually came before?
No, we had Night Terrors, but we think there was...
So people, once you put 1927 in, people started throwing stories out.
I mean, yeah, we had a vague concept that it was like a good counterpoint to the like Night Terrors thing, but yeah, people have sort of filled in the blanks for us.
So, where I came from, there's a band called Razor 1922, and I kept like, and there was a band called The 27, and for a while there, when you guys first came out, I'm like, I get both bands, all three bands confused because there's just too many numbers for me to remember. And I'm bad with that. I
think a lot of kids have just taken to calling us Night Terrors, which is probably easy to remember.
It is probably a lot easier to remember.
Yeah.
I was going to say welcome home, but you're not home. You're in the middle of Coachella.
I am.
But your San Diego home is all of you crazy people out here. Were you actually born in
I was born in Newport Beach, but I grew up in San Diego.
I'm so sorry that you were born in Newport Beach.
Dude, my infant self had no idea where it was born.
Yeah.
It just was next to a boob and like getting food, you know?
And I probably ask you every time, but do you have fond memories of growing up in San Diego?
Yeah, San Diego is amazing. I mean, I grew up like near the beach, and I feel so close to like that whole concept. I think it's like what made me so like I'm kind of an avid scuba diver, you know, like, and I feel like without that, like, you know.
Did you surf the breaks?
I was never a surfer.
You weren't part of the surfing collage of La Jolla High back in those days?
Not really. I was kind of like a nerdy, like, art drama kid. I was like drama. You know what I mean? I was like that dude in the like school plays like that.
Right. Like, is this true? Was he?
I'm from Long Island.
Is he still?
I guess of the two. Hello, my baby. Yeah.
Michigan J. Frog, all of a sudden.
I mean, you were listening to that one musical that one time when you were punishing me with that newer musical, and I was like, please, God, make it stop. Yeah.
Book of Mormon? So you grew up Long Island. When did you get to our fabulous state of...
Just a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago?
Yeah, I grew from Long Island, spent most of the time in Brooklyn when I was old enough to escape my parents. Right. And then I moved to California like 3 years ago, L.A., and that's when we hooked up.
You played in bands before, right? This is not your first band.
No, but my other band was based in Brooklyn. But this band formed in L.A. when I moved here, and that's how...
How'd you run into Blake?
I had recorded some songs just as a solo singer-songwriter guy, and he produced them, and that was before I moved to L.A. And then when I moved out to L.A., he was one of the people I called as a musical person that I knew. I was like, hey, you wanna...
Did you know how famous he was for being in like Rilo Kiley and all that stuff? Were you hip to all that stuff?
Yeah, that's why I contacted him in the first place, because I was a fan of The Elected, which was his own thing. So I wanted my solo thing to sound similar. I was like, can you do what you did? Sprinkle some of that magical juice onto my solo stuff.
Has he told you this before? Did you?
Yeah. I mean, when he called, I didn't know him, you know, so
he just called up and said, "Hey, I need a producer."
His girlfriend, who I knew, was like, "Hey, like my, dude wants a producer. He's a fan of your stuff," and I hadn't really produced a lot for like somebody other than myself. So I was like, I'll do my best, but I don't know if I'm qualified. But sure, come over. And he's a man of few words, so I mean, but he wears his heart on his sleeve. So if he doesn't like something, you know it pretty fast. And if he likes something, he just doesn't do anything. So I learned that. So he's really pumped right now. He's really excited.
So the song you guys just played, "When You're Mine," where'd that come from? Was it fully written by you?
No, was more like started out as written by him, but in a completely different format. was like a folky kind of song.
Yeah, I was like going through some kind of like breakup or whatever, like with this gal that like really had my heart at the time, and I wrote this song and I played it for him, and I was like, I don't know if this has any place, but I like to play him songs. He's like really good at like hearing the good in things. So I thought maybe there's a line in here that we could use, and he just said, well, let's use the whole thing, but let's redo it. Like, I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'll play the chords. I'll show you what I mean. And then I played the chords.
What did it sound like before? It's like super folky, strummy?
Super folky, strummy, just 2 chords, and like me singing whispery, sort of a similar syncopation in the melody, but different notes. And then he like got a hold of it, and then he started like singing it.
He turned it to the best OMD song they never wrote.
Yeah, right.
Have you noticed that?
OMD, is that like your Unbelievable guys?
No, that's EMF.
Oh, okay.
OMD, they were in 60 Candles, all those kind of orchestral maneuvers in the dark.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
OMD for sure. What was the big hit for OMD? Tim Piles.
If you
leave. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that song. It's a great song.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's covered that one. Yeah, that one. Very orchestrally.
Yeah.
Massive choruses and stuff.
That's a great compliment.
You okay with that? All right. Good.
Of course, yes.
So you basically took his basic 2-chord MC5 sounding country song and turned it into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like when we started
anthem,
jamming it, the strum was definitely more of a British influence right away. I was like, and it did become something 80s, and I don't know, is that band American though? I don't know. So
no, the rich part of Liverpool.
Okay,
not
so
not the Bunnymen part of Liverpool.
Yeah.
The
posh.
The posh part of Liverpool.
Snooties.
Yeah, and I think it stayed with those 2 chords still, but then once he laid the vocal down at my studio, then I just started subtracting and putting different chords under it, kind of like remixing it, and it kind of took on like,
It kind of fleshed out a little bit?
Yeah.
At what point did Tegan and Sarah just show up and decide to do the background vocals? Or did you call them, or did they just happen to be walking by?
We were just listening to the recording, and we knew something was missing. So the concept of having it turn into a duet, we always wanted. I feel like every song we were looking for that chance to have a guest female vocal. We had recently played with them, fans of their new record. It seemed like the production just seemed perfect for them. So we reached out, sent them the song, and it was that easy. Yeah,
it's really quite an amazing little ditty. So congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Let's talk about Coachella. Are there other bands on this massive bill that you're going, like, I want to leave Halloran right now, get out of this radio interview, and I got to go see them?
We never want to leave Halloran.
Yeah, but
let's just start there.
I know that you're completely lying right now, but it's okay. There are bands that you're just dying to go see this weekend.
Oh God, I made like an entire playlist and now I'm blanking because
Jared like has like an Excel spreadsheet.
I really need that.
Jared showed me like an Excel spreadsheet with like, this is yellow, this is highlighted, this is orange, this is pink. There'll be an overlap of 2 minutes here, but if we run from Alt J to Drake, we can make, like this
Drake.
Is. So
the
point is Jared's very serious about it. He's kind of the.
I feel like the Jizza and Raekwon or Ghostface are doing something. I feel like Run the Jewels are playing. Glass Animals. Who else? There were so many cool things. I liked like the smaller artists more than the bigger ones this year.
The ones at the bottom of the bill.
Yeah, I did. I liked them, so we probably already missed them.
As my kid keeps pointing out to me, if you look back, the bands on the bottom, the ones that move up, end up becoming way bigger than the ones that were on the top.
Yeah.
When they played.
Totally.
Like at the drive-in, first year opened. 5, 10 people in front of them. 120 degrees, and they headlined, a couple of years ago.
Hey, that bodes well for us, Jared.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Jared?
Sounds good. I'll take that.
So what about you? Any bands you're just like, and you've come to plenty of these, yes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm lived here, played it a long time ago with Rilo Kiley, and then, I've come every year. The headliners are not as exciting, to this year. Like when it was like Prince and the Pixies, like those hold a little more for me than like
Marina and the Diamonds is playing,
Marina and the Diamonds. I want to
her.
see like Alt J. I'm excited about seeing. I'm such a big fan of that record.
They played right here, but
really
2 hours ago.
Oh wow!
Nylon string acoustic guitar and a xylophone.
Whoa! Cool.
Before you leave, I'll have John mix it and put it on a little mini disc for you.
Yeah, pirate status.
Angel Olsen, have you heard?
No, Angel Olsen.
Angel Olsen.
She's
I really want to see her. Been listening to that
female
record a lot.
singer-songwriter.
She's kind of like Americana, but like a little rough around the edges. Like
a lot of A lot of the smaller artists. Who's that band that kind of sounds like the Replacements on steroids? I can't think of that band.
The Orwells?
No.
That would be the Replacements on other drugs.
Other drugs, yeah.
Mushrooms.
Tame Impala.
Yeah.
That would be the drugs.
Yeah.
Psychedelic drug mushroom fest.
Lots of drugs with that band, I think. But they do keep it together on stage, which is quite shocking, too. Wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you for swinging by.
Thank you for having us.
And thanks for hanging out at 91X.
Yeah. Thank you.
Night Terrors. Now the shortened version. Just Night Terrors, everybody. They've dropped the year.
You heard it here first.